What is up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Discuss. Today I will be talking about another individual stock, just like I did last week when I talked about Advanced Micro Devices. If you do follow this series regularly, you know normally I do talk about an investing topic on the off week, but I just didn't really have anything I really wanted to talk about, so today I have elected to talk about Walt Disney Company. So I'll just be sharing with you my own personal thoughts and opinions on Disney, as well as, the pros and cons of owning the stock, and then wrap up with my own personal value, or fair value estimate is what I call it. So yeah, I'm excited to talk about Disney. So before we get into today's discussion, of course, guys, I'm not a financial advisor. I do this strictly for your entertainment. So please do your own due diligence and research before making any investment decisions. Or if you don't feel like you're capable of, making that kind of research or have that kind of time, definitely consult an actual financial advisor. I'm sure you have people in your local area that would love to help you, so reach out to them for any investment decisions. And then the other thing, guys, is don't forget that I will not be making any videos next week due to my travel arrangements. But if you would like to stay up to date on my thoughts when I'm not posting videos, feel free to check out my social media pages in the description down below. So with that being said, let's discuss Disney. So Disney is one of those companies that really needs very little introduction. Of course, they were founded in 1923 by Walt Disney and his brother. They started out as just a small-time animation studio, but in the decades since have grown exponentially into really a full-fledged multimedia empire. They have a wide range of business interests, from their movie production, TV series, to their theme parks, cruise lines, and now Disney Plus. In addition to the original properties that Walt Disney and his animators created, they've since acquired many other film studios, such as Pixar, Marvel Entertainment, and Lucasfilm. All of these properties have contributed to Disney growing up to a market cap of about $325 billion as of today. Their share price is currently ranging around from $178 to $179, which is actually down from their all-time highs of just above $200. A little bit more about their stock. They do not currently offer a dividend. They used to as recently as just over a year ago, but due to the squeeze of the pandemic on their books, they did have to suspend that dividend. They're actually a company that only paid biannually, so they only paid once every 6 months, as opposed to quarterly or even monthly. But their performance of their stock has been doing very, very well for many, many years. Over the last 6 months, they are up about 34%. Over the last year, they're up 71%. If you're a long-term holder of Disney stock, you've seen returns of up to 80%, and then for the last 10 years, up 345%. Disney's more recent stock performance has been a little bit more flat. Year to date, they are up about 2%, but they were up more than that in early March, and since then they've kind of been on a steady decline. They did peak at around $202 per share, but have since dropped back to, again, that level about $179 per share. So you may be seeing Disney at a little bit of a discount, at least in regards to where it was trending over the last several months. But as far as some pros and cons for Disney, I usually give 2 pros and 2 cons. The first pro is Disney Plus, which was launched in, I believe, fall of 2019. And since then, they have acquired about 100 million subscribers worldwide, which really blows away all estimates that Disney had even for themselves. So they've taken a sizable market share in the streaming industry. So that's kind of been disruptive to their competitors, primarily Netflix. So that's definitely been a huge, huge boost for them, especially throughout the pandemic, when they weren't able to operate their cruise lines and their theme parks were closed. So Disney Plus is probably the biggest bright spot for Disney right now. And then the other thing that I wanted to note as a pro was their extraordinarily valuable intellectual property that they have either created themselves or now own. Primarily Pixar, Lucasfilm, and Marvel are all doing very, very well for Disney and have been for many years. So I expect that those IPs will continue to make them tons and tons of money. I know Marvel has really been pumping out many new shows for Disney Plus, as well as have a whole slate of films ready to release. And then they are also, diving deeper into the Star Wars universe, so that will be another positive for them in the long run. Some cons, though, is of course the media sector is highly competitive. Universal, Paramount, everybody's launching their own streaming platforms, so Disney Plus should have some pretty formidable competition going forward, but I believe Disney's probably generally superior IP will probably hold them up, but it definitely will take a chunk out of their market share. And then the other con for Disney is due to the pandemic and due to not be able to operate a large part of their business, they did rack up high operating losses, which again was a drag on their books. Luckily, Disney was in pretty good financial shape even before the pandemic, but anytime you don't get to operate your theme parks or your cruise lines for almost a full year, obviously that's going to be a huge downside, but I think they should be able to recover in the long run. So I don't think their cons are anything to worry about too much, but of course it is something to keep an eye on if you are a long-term investor. So for my purchase rating and fair value estimate for Disney, again, it is my largest holding in my long-term portfolio for a reason. So that is why I do feel extraordinarily comfortable assigning it a buy. Although some of the cons could be a small problem to deal with, I think Disney is far bigger than that and they have a lot of room to run. So I think Disney is a strong buy, especially at current prices, with them kind of trending down over the last 2 months or so. So I would say they are a lifetime hold for me. I think over the next several decades at least, we'll see Disney continue to grow at a pretty high rate. I think they will continue to acquire new properties. They have a whole new agreement with obviously 21st Century Fox, which I think will do very well for them, being able to kind of mold the entire Marvel universe together. So they have a lot of things they can do with that. So my fair value estimate as far as share price, I would actually go as far as say $225 per share would be fair. Like I said, I'm very bullish on Disney in the long term, so I think a market cap of nearly $500 billion is well within reach, even in the not so distant future. So that's kind of some of my thoughts on Disney. Again, I know maybe some people aren't as bullish on them long term as I am, but I am more than comfortable holding them for many years to come. I will get into my final comments. So that's going to pretty well wrap things up for this video. If you did enjoy, go ahead and drop a like, and if you are a new viewer, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't yet done so. It helps me out, helps the channel, as well as down in the comment section, share your own thoughts on Disney. If you are a shareholder, let me know why. If you stayed away from Disney, tell me that too. So again, don't forget, I will not be making any videos next week, so it'll be a while before you'll see me again. So until then, take care, and I hope to see you next time.